Hi everyone, this is Ted with the Homes team at William Raveis Real Estate, and today I am on location with Steven Silva of the Estate Inspection Group. He is a licensed home inspector in New York State. Thanks for joining me today, Steve.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, so what I wanted to do today with Steve is just get some information on the inspection process for first-time home buyers and sellers. So Steve, what is the main goal of the home inspection, and what do you tell first-time home buyers before you start an inspection?
Got it. So the main objective of a home inspection is to actually perform a non-invasive review of the home and its major components to understand what's working, what's broken, and more importantly, where things are in their lifespan. Okay, it really is supposed to be an informational process, so that way a potential buyer will become better intimately acquainted with the intimacies of the home, so that way they don't just know what it is that they're buying, but they also know what responsibilities they're buying that come along with that purchase of that home. When it comes to what I tell my first-time home buyers is to really present, or what I should say, really expect an educational process. Okay, obviously we're going to find things wrong with the home. That's what we're there to do.
Right.
But home buyers, really, their main objective for going into their home inspection should really be preparing to find out what makes that home tick. You know, it's one of those things where everyone walks through a home and they picture where their Christmas tree is going to go, where they're going to have their first Thanksgiving dinner. But there's more to home ownership than that. And that's where, by hiring the right home inspector that is really not just going to thoroughly inspect the home, but really focus a buyer's attention to understand why certain aspects are important, that's really where you're going to get the value out of your home inspection, besides finding out what's wrong with the home.
So, Steve, in some cases, I will recommend to sellers that they do a home inspection before they put the house on the market. And you're nodding your head yes. Is that something you recommend as well, and why is that a good thing?
Absolutely. We call it a pre-listing inspection, and in my opinion, it is a vastly underutilized service. The reason for that is when sellers go to sell their home, they know it as their home, and they've been, for however long they've been living in the home, they've been busy living in the home. It's a lot harder to look at your home from an objective standpoint, right, where outsiders are going to come in and see it for the first time, whereas you see it as your home.
Right.
So by having a home inspector come in and perform a pre-listing inspection, it's going to really present your home in the light of what a potential buyer will see it as. And the benefit of that is that it kind of preemptively allows you to pull the skeletons out of the closet, per se, because ultimately there's always going to be things wrong with the home. Even the most meticulously maintained home, there's always going to be things towards the end of their useful life or just needing to be replaced. Doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing, but it is something that you want to at least understand what your potential buyer is going to come at you with. Mm-hmm. And what that also presents a great opportunity for, particularly for, let's say in the case of estate sales, people are inheriting homes that, their parents were living in. They had no idea when the last time certain things were maintained, when the last time certain things were replaced. Yeah. By having a pre-listing inspection, that'll be able to, in essence, document those defects and allow the seller to prepare, or allow the seller enough time to prepare, so that way they kind of know what's coming at them, and it'll give them either all of the time necessary to make those repairs. Exactly. So it's one less major thing to be found on a buyer's inspection. Yep. Or they can just say, we have no plans on making any repairs. We just want to offload this property, and at least allow them to strategically price their home reflective of those inherent defects.
Great. So yeah, I highly recommend that as part of the process. And I also highly recommend Steve as a home inspector with my buyers and sellers. So I wanted to take a moment, thank everybody for viewing this video with us today. For any questions for Steve, you'll see his contact information. And Steve, is there anything else you want to add?
Basically, just whoever it is you choose to hire to perform your home inspection, just make sure you feel comfortable with their with their style of communication. If you have the most competent home inspector that just doesn't have the ability to break things down into layman's terms, it can be a little bit technical, and perhaps you won't extract as much value out of your home inspection as possible. So when you're interviewing potential home inspectors, just make sure that their style kind of clicks with yours in terms of how your preferred method of communication is. So that way, if and when those findings are compiled, you'll have a better understanding of how to make sense of it all.
Thanks again. And if you have any real estate questions, please contact me anytime. Steve, thank you.
My pleasure.
And have a great rest of your day.